Hey guys, welcome back for another video. A cool video here today talking about a very widely, commonly talked about thing in the golf swing, which is the weight transfer, and why the only reason why I talk about that for my clients is to tell them not to worry about the weight transfer. I feel like when I see clients for the first time, when I work with players for the first time, they talk about weight transfer. I gotta try to get my weight forward in the downswing, or they say, what about the weight transfer? Well, in more cases than not, the weight transfer actually hurts the movement more than it helps. When they start thinking weight transfer, move the weight right, move the weight left, it's a very lateral movement. When they do this very lateral movement, they restrict the rotation. We don't want that. We want the swing to be very dynamic. We want the swing to be very athletic. So in the golf swing being rotational, if I think weight transfer, I'm cutting out rotation. All I'm doing is lateral to the trail side, lateral to the lead side. We don't want that in a golf swing. Max weight transfer may look like this. And that's not what we want. That's not a very dynamic movement. So we want to try to create something that allows us to maximize the rotation in the downswing and to eventually maximize the vertical aspect to create speed. That's why I don't like weight transfer. They may think, oh, for instance, I talk about feeling like you stay on your trail side, feeling like as you torque the ground, feel like you're really using your trail side. They think, oh, what about my weight transfer? When do I transfer the weight? Well, you don't have to think about that because the target is on your lead side. We're swinging towards our lead side. You don't need to help yourself transfer your weight there. All that does is cut out the rotation. All that does is minimize the vertical aspects of the swing. So you can see, just because I'm going to exaggerate one, just because I stay on the trail side when I hit, just to exaggerate, I eventually do end up on my lead side. You can see when I follow through, I'm nice and tall. I'm not scrunching my trail toes. I'm nice and tall, hips forward, glute squeeze, extended as tall as I can. I still end up on my lead side. But that's because I'm not worrying about my weight transfer. If I worry about my weight transfer, I'm not going to have rotation. My upper body has lunged forward, and I don't look very good in the finish. If my upper body finishes forward than my lower body, I'm not extending. Most explosive movements, regardless of sport, there needs to be extension from the ground up. You can see if I extend from the ground up, my legs extend, my hips go forward, I get the hip extension, and then the upper body extends. But if I weight transfer, you can see when I do that, my upper body lunges forward, there is no extension, which is why the only time I talk about weight transfer is to tell people to not worry about weight transfer. And I feel like not worrying about weight transfer will help a lot of you guys out as well. You're going to make a very athletic movement. You're going to low pressure into the trail side as you turn, and then try to torque the ground with your trail side to start the downswing, and let that react from there. Whatever happens, happens. You're going to end up on your lead side, but you don't have to help yourself get to the lead side. You don't have to help yourself transfer weight because you're going to end up there at the end. So I hope that makes sense. Do not worry about weight transfer. Don't let that hinder the movement. Don't let that restrict your movement, restrict the flow of it. Just throw that out of your mind, and then we're going to work and we're going to talk more about in future videos, shifting pressure from the trail to your lead at some point, using the torque, using the vertical stuff to help you create a very dynamic golf swing with predictability. So I hope that makes sense. Any questions, leave in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks, guys.